Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to WolfQuest, A Watchful Heart with Mikael. So they just finished up the spike elk they had demolished together a few days ago, but the pups are hungry. They don't have any food at the rendezvous site where they have officially been moved to. And now that the pups are older, they're out and about, they're kind of free a little bit. But it does mean that they're a little bit more ornery, so Mikael will have less time out in the wilds with the pups in the den because they need a parent with them. And so thusly, he is actually going to send Kirby back to be with them so that he can find them food and continue to take territory. It looks like the packs are really closing in. Even though their territory may look large, it's extremely weak, and he needs to focus on that today. But first, we're gonna see how his grief is before we start. I did roll a 3, so I'm really thankful all of our pups recovered from sickness in the last episode, because now we are moving to accurate from easy, but I think easy actually saved both Kestrel and Juniper last episode. However, this also means that Mikael's gonna have to be very, very careful as he goes into other wolves' territories, because they are ruthless, especially Crevice Lake, but the other packs don't love territory being taken. So he may actually just focus on strengthening today rather than taking. Well, at least Mikael knows why this territory had weakened so much. There is an elk herd that is moving through this territory, so it is entirely possible that other wolves have been trying to hunt this herd, and that's why some of this has been weakened so much. So Mikael's currently trying to hunt this elk. He isn't entirely sure if it's a good idea because he's not that hungry, but they did finish that spike elk, and so he's thinking, well, for future meals, it wouldn't hurt to take down another one. Now, this cow elk is not that weak, as most cow elks do get some strength during the springtime after having their after having their newborns. And so, like I said, this may not be a good idea, but it doesn't hurt. Ow. Unless you get run over. That does hurt. Now we are in another pack's territory right now, so Mikael's a little stressed. He doesn't usually deal with Junction Butte very often, so he's kind of hoping they'll just leave him be. But another wolf pack, I don't think they would refuse an easy kill for their pack, especially if it's taken down by another wolf. But it didn't matter because that territory was so weak, his hunt alone claimed it for them. So now he's gonna make a scent marker right where this carcass is. This was great! A hunt and taking territory at the same time. I'm sure Mikael is really pleased with himself right now. And he's alerted Kirby to his triumphant kill, and so I'm sure she's very excited to come and eat with him later. But he did take quite a beating, so we're gonna have to be careful taking territory today. So Mikael is suddenly going to get a very, very strong scent of dawn, and he's going to track that just a little bit. He's taken quite a bit of territory, and he has just enough energy to track the scent down and find her. And it looks like she's right up ahead. And so I know that in our game we can't see dawn here, we can't see dusk, and we can't see the pups. But using our imagination, our story mind, Mikael is here, and he sees her, and Dawn lets out a huff and an eye roll as Mikael approaches. But Dusk feels a great need to be accepted by Mikael. Mikael is essentially the leader of the Snagglefang pack right now. And even though he doesn't really love that title, he doesn't even love that role, he kind of accidentally takes that role on anyway just by being the protector that he is. And so Dusk feels a need to get that acceptance from Mikael. I do actually think Mikael would be very approving of Dusk, seeing his strength, his physique being very strong in nature, and the fact that they had moved so many times throughout the entire map, and yet at this point they had not lost any of their pups. And so I imagine that Mikael's impressed. He's proud of both of them. And he might even think he is being a little silly for being so worried about Dawn. But because of what's happened to Aurora, her mate, and her pups, he can't help but worry. And so he's gonna walk away from this proud of them, but still scared. And with a howl goodbye, Mikael is going to simply trust that Dawn will be okay. But he's going to quickly realize that that was a mistake. And it wasn't necessarily one he could help or prevent. But as every father would, he will blame himself for not making it safer, for not watching her more when the time comes. And Mikael arrives back at the rendezvous site with but a thread of wakefulness left. It looks as though that elk that he had dropped off is gone. All the food is gone. How are the pups though? They're pretty good, but we will have to look for food tomorrow. And so Mikael will wolf them into the grass and snuggle with them in safety. Oh, they split perfectly. That's adorable. How can Mikael choose? He's not going to. He's going to sleep right here. It is the middle of the night and the pups do not have food, so the best he can do is feed him what he might have and play with them to get affinity up long enough for him to go and get more food, which is hopefully close by. I think Mikael might be on the hunt for a moose calf. He could feed them for a little while, and that's kind of important to him. He wants to spend more time with his pups now that he has spent so much of his days during their growth worried about his older daughters, looking after them, even checking in on Teo from time to time, maybe from a distance, but from time to time. He feels like he's really neglected them, and so he wants to take this time now that they are at the rendezvous site and they're getting close to heading to the summer grounds where they will start their training for a year. He needs to bring that affinity up with them. He needs to show them that they do have a caring, present dad. And after all this time, Mikael knows this is the right thing. And though he feels guilty for not doing it sooner, he's gonna make sure he does it extra hard now. So Mikael is rushed with the scent of Crevice Lake just immediately. He knows that they have been very close by just recently. All of these scent markers are fresh and he's a little worried. He's gonna head in that direction to see if he can't find food and strengthen what markings he can, but the scent is so fresh that it scares him. But the scent of moose does have his interest piqued even more, a little less into danger, a little more into food. And Kirby has caught it as well and is coming with. But now the scent of stranger wolves is even filling the air. And so this may mean that Dawn's death is either happened or is going to happen very, very soon. Now this looks like one track, but I'm not 100% sure. Ah, yes, this is a mother and a calf. This would be very helpful to feed his pups, and Kirby's excited. You can see that she's pouncing like, yes, let's do this. She is getting Mikael hyped up. They are going to take this calf down. Kirby is unafraid as usual. We just have to be patient. Patience didn't quite matter. They ran right away. Okay, the mother's ahead. This is the perfect opportunity to take this calf down. Oh! I was really scared. Oh my gosh, Kirby, be careful. Kirby, move! Okay. Whew. 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 Oh my gosh, Kirby. Mate is injured. Kirby, that's for the pups, not you! Kirby, no! Oh my gosh, this woman has no chill. She's like, I worked hard to take this down. I'm eating it. She's not even gonna leave any for Mikael. She's literally just gonna eat it for herself. Oh my gosh, she is kind of a brat sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. She just a little bit. She's just a little bit of brat. So in that case, you can go home. We're not taking a moose down. I love you, but that's not happening. Go home. Don't you dare. Okay. Well, Mikael's gonna focus on finding food for the pups since Kirby literally ate the food for herself. I'm actually going to follow our scent trail backwards because I think we went through a point that had a mom in it. I think that's her right there. Perfect. Ow! That was incredibly rude. How about you leave? Your baby is literally gone. I don't know what to... Oh, it looks like she's checking. Oh, my heart. Why? Why do you have to look like you're checking your baby right now? Go. Am I gonna have to bite you to make you leave? Probably. Mikael is going to quickly put this down and call the pups out to eat before Kirby gets back. Knowing his sweet mate. Oh no, here she comes. Hurry, pups, eat! Eat before she finds it. Oh my. I do wish the mates would not eat the food at the den. Like, they would be coded where they wouldn't do that. Or at the rendezvous site, like if it was within a certain radius of the rendezvous site, they wouldn't eat it. I guess that could cause problems though. Like if you happen to have a kill right in that spot, I think that would be rough coding wise. I don't know how that would work, but I could see a lot of bugs happening from that. But I do wish they wouldn't eat the carcasses that were left. But here comes Kirby, nice and full and plump from her moose calf that Mikael really wanted his pups to have, but it's all right. Poor Fallow seems kind of distant, y'all. I don't know why Fallow is so distant. And then we have Kestrel, our singer. But now Mikael needs food for himself. Everybody else has been fed thoroughly, and honestly, he doesn't mind. He wants his family to eat, but he's starving. Mikael is not the wolf that likes to be hungry for very long, so he's gonna make sure he feeds himself today. Well, that was pretty easy. A nice mule deer fawn for Mikael to kind of get full on. I don't think this will feed him all the way, but at least it will be enough and he can rest with his pups tonight. He does still want to go check on Aurora. He's a little more concerned about her. But Dawn is probably at this point no longer with us. Mikael doesn't know that yet. Dusk is not going to immediately go and take the pups to Mikael because he feels ashamed. Dusk feels like he didn't protect her. And he doesn't know if he can face Mikael with that truth. Or what he believes to be a truth. And so Dusk is going to try and push through on his own, but realize he can't, and then he will come to Mikael. But it will probably be right towards the end, before the pups move on to be trained in Towerfall, or wherever they choose. So Mikael is in ignorant bliss right now. He thinks his daughter is just fine out there, and has no idea what Crevice Lake has done. So now that everything is all right, Mikael feels comfortable enough to go and work on territory out towards the east. Of course there's elk right here. What? I don't know if I have enough energy or reason. Do I have enough energy and reason? I don't know that I do. I'm gonna be honest. But we're gonna try it. Let's see if any of them fall. That was a bad tumble. Oh no, you're fine. Ow, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You were very, yeah, you know, I think that kick actually told Mikael this was a bad idea. He got bashed in the chin pretty hard and was like, nah, I'll just do the easier hunting today. Maybe I'll just find a small bab in the grass. Oh, look at that! A small bab in the grass. That was fortunate. That is all Mikael needed. He'll just need to bring something home for his pups because he's sure that Kirby is absolutely going to eat whatever remains of that carcass that he brought the other day. So Mikael has a vague idea of where Aurora is currently staying for the summer rendezvous site, and so he's going to strengthen territory purposely in that direction so he can go ahead and check on her. And again, neither of them have any idea what has happened to Dawn at this point. And they're certainly living... Whoa! What? That's so lucky! Mikael, why are you the luckiest wolf ever? You're not even going to be able to finish this. So they are currently living thinking that Dawn is still perfectly safe with Dusk. Especially Mikael, seeing the strength of Dusk, has no idea no idea what's happened. But as we all know, Crevice Lake is ruthless and was not afraid to take her life, especially since she had already done enough damage to herself in her stubbornness. So we are here at Aurora's site, and again, we're kind of having to use our story mind in order to picture what's going on here. I imagine Aurora just got here and she is suffering from the tragedy of having lost Zorro. At this point, she has lost 3 of her 7 puppies. And now Mikael is not going to be very helpful and comforting for that because he has never experienced losing a pup. But Fridley is being an absolute doll to her. For some reason, I imagine Fridley being like a sweet, good old boy, biggest heart in the world kind of personality. And he's not intimidated by Mikael at all, kind of like how Dusk is maybe a little bit intimidated, feeling a need to prove himself. Fridley just is doing his own thing and just cares for this desperate female that he came across and feels this need to protect her and care for her, and that's all he really wants. And Mikael approves a little more now, but seeing that Zorro has been lost, he is a little bit worried that Fridley is not capable of being a strong male. That he's good to Aurora, but maybe not good at running a family. And Mikael doesn't like being judgmental, but he can't help it. It is a little bit of a part of his personality, just being a little judgmental, but that's because Aurora is his daughter, to be fair. But now he has seen that Aurora is still alive, but hearing about Zorro's loss and knowing that the other 2 pups are lost is kind of setting Mikael to be worried about Dawn again. But he's trying so hard to fight that worry so he can be with his family, but it's just not working, especially today. But he doesn't really know what he can do about it. He's only one wolf, and yet he feels like he wishes he could be 3 places at once, but he can't. Which is so relatable. He knows he needs to head back to his family, but he's tired. So for now, he's gonna look off over the lake and just hope, beyond all hope, that somehow his family will be okay. Well, I hope y'all liked this episode. If you did, give the like button a tickle and a poke. Subscribe to join our family if you haven't already, and jiggle that bell so you're notified of when I post WolfQuest. Also, feel free to join Discord or follow me on Twitch if you want to hang out with the community and me on other platforms. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for more of WolfQuest, A Watchful Heart.